Warning, this video has opinions, heavily stated and somewhat unfiltered. If you can't handle that, then you need to leave, maggot. Warning, this video has opinions, heavily stated and somewhat unfiltered. If you can't handle that, then you need to leave, maggot.
Something that I find frustrating about the modern state of video games are secondary fans. You know, the people who've never played a game and at best watch someone else play it. These people usually aren't that much of a problem when they're a small minority. In the modern state of video games, though, they're a persistent and growing problem. There's virtually no series that was once worth something that hasn't been completely ruined by people who didn't play the originals or didn't play anything at all. Outsiders who at no point knew what made something good and heard from their eSeleb of choice what to think. Many games suffer from this, and their communities have been co-opted and taken over by these people. Even outside of video games, there's still this issue. Something I care about personally being SCP, which has been completely ruined by outsiders and people who didn't understand what made it good originally. Don't misunderstand. These are not just simply new fags, because at least with them, they do play and interact with some. Secondary fans are more like fans of the fandom. People who orbit around a game or show and grow attached to it. Team Fortress 2 is infested with them, to such a point that I genuinely believe the majority of all discourse around this game is mostly secondary fans. Why is all the talk around this game always so positive? Why is most criticism of the game shrugged off or silenced? Zesty Jesus recently had many people shut down his complaints about the matchmaking breaking and taking too long to find a match. I can only come to the conclusion that these people don't play the game. During the Halloween event, and as I mentioned in my Scream Fortress video, it was taking 20 to 30 minutes to find a match, and that was if the matchmaker didn't break entirely. These people have to either be lying or speaking out of ignorance, unironically telling people it takes no more than 30 seconds to find a match. Not only that, but when it comes to everything around competitive, weapon balance, or anything involving the workshop, there's always a legion of new fags and secondary fans ready to shut down any complaint or legitimate criticism. The main reason being is that they don't have to engage with it. Since they don't actually play the game, it doesn't matter to them. The game can be, yet again, filled with bots, which as I said it would, is already happening. Filled with shitty maps and cosmetics, along with the matchmaking, making it unplayable. It doesn't matter to these people, because they don't actually play the game. As long as they can go to r/tf2 and watch the same unfunny memes about Soldier being trans, or their favorite eSeleb upload another clip dump, they don't have to care. But as soon as their Chungus Wholesome Marino memes are interrupted by a longtime fan pointing out the poor state of the game, the vitriol comes out. Something unique to secondary fans of Team Fortress 2 is Typical Colors 2. I will give them credit and say the game is at least a decently accurate version of Team Fortress 2, and the people doing it are minimal. For the most part of the discussions around Typical Colors 2 stays in that sphere. Yet I see people who have only ever played that and try and apply their experience to Team Fortress 2. I shouldn't have to say this, but this shouldn't be taken seriously. Typical Colors 2 is a good game in its own bubble, but there's differences that make these games not very compatible. Class and weapon recognition are extremely important in Team Fortress 2, and very often it's easy to tell who and what you're fighting. In Typical Colors, the classes have the same exact heights and body shape, and since the bodies are so large and the weapons so small, it makes telling what you're fighting difficult. Something many players of Typical Colors probably don't acknowledge unless they're coming from Team Fortress 2 beforehand. Not only that, but Typical Colors has its own balancing and weapons unique to the game. Secondary fans applying this to Team Fortress are just foolish. Things like class limits are something that create unique problems to their game, mainly people not wanting to switch off a class so no one else will take it. These criticisms are very common for people that play Team Fortress 2. Before writing this, I watch a few slop tubers I don't like that say the same things. Don't mistake this as me hating Typical Colors 2. I like the idea of the game. It's acceptable for what it is. And honestly, the developers are doing a better job than Valve in almost every conceivable way. I just think people coming from that game do not get to have an opinion on Team Fortress 2. Let's be honest here. Many of these secondary fans are in it for the Coomer shit. Predominantly women, some trooms, many orbit around this game just to sexualize the mercenaries. I honestly wouldn't care if they didn't force the shit everywhere. I can't remember a time where on the rare moment I go to r/tf2, I didn't see something about the mercenaries transitioning, being in a relationship with each other, or one of the buildings being anthropomorphized. I don't think there was a single time I didn't see something overtly Coomerish there. And mind you, most of the people that use r/tf2 don't even play the game, and I'd argue never even installed it. At least with Miss Pauling, I can understand, but no, these people focus on the mercenaries. Aside from Team Fortress, many RPG games have this problem. Earthbound, the Lisa series, and Undertale are good examples. Need I show the video of an Earthbound fan playing Earthbound for the first time? The idea that you can just watch someone else play a game and call yourself a fan of it is just a strange one one to me. You miss so much of the feeling doing that. Spoilers for Least the Painful, but you lost a lot of the impact of finding the Yato secret lab in painful mode. The game is destroying you the entire time, and getting there is not easy. You have to earn the right to find the secret, and just watching some soytuber do it not only takes away from the satisfaction of doing it, but it takes away from the impact of it. Surprisingly, Sonic games don't seem to suffer the same level from what I can see. Although it's still there, plenty of people who've never played the original games who state their opinions about them. I'm legitimately convinced most of the positive talk around Sonic Unleashed are secondary fans retroactively saying the game was always good. But of course I don't have a way to prove that. And of course I do know some people who did legitimately like that game when it came out. Even with that said though, very often I'll have people try to argue with me in the comments over Sonic lore, and I know for a fact that they either didn't play the games relevant to the topic or never touched a Sonic game at all. Me mentioning that Sonic CD was effectively retconned from the series was very evident when its absence was frequent, and even during the development of Sonic Adventure and a demo, there was an NPC that mentioned Little Planet by name, but was cut by release. What conclusion could someone come to? Maybe I can give these fans the benefit of the doubt and say they just didn't know, but they still can't explain the absence of CD from the canon. Sonic CD was still only acknowledged recently. Why was it missing for so long? Silent Hill 2 has long had this problem, where people who've never played it pretend to be fans of it. Not only that, but since the remake, these fans have only gotten worse. The remake butchered everything that made the game good, ruining the atmosphere, characters, and gameplay. These people unironically think they can have an opinion on the game now because of it, and genuinely believe the remake to be superior despite never having played the original. Going back to Team Fortress 2 for a moment, how would you describe rocket jumping to a secondary fan? How does it feel? It's fucking impossible to do unless they play the game. It's hard to convey, but my point is, there's a certain feeling from games these people rob themselves of by being a parasite on the game's communities. Oftentimes, when I speak on communities in a condescending way, I'm speaking about these secondary fans that want their comfort characters and to LARP as actual fans. That's the best case scenario. Worst case is them being political activists. I shouldn't have to explain why this is a problem, but it dilutes the game and its discussion. It's people who turn something that can be deep and thought-provoking into surface-level jokes. It takes away from what makes games actually fun. Overall, I can't really add much aside from repeating myself. These people are not fans. They do not get to have an opinion until they play the fucking game. Otherwise, they need to shut the fuck up.
These Zionists from capping the point. Come on. We just have to do this for like 2 more minutes. We got this.
Come on, man!
The enemy has received additional time.
Yo, incoming!
Bro's username is Ultra Gooner.
Enemy spy!
Y'all niggas, you guys need to mic up, bro. It's boring. Thank you.
Alert. All that control point is being captured.
I need to reload. I'm done reloading. That spy is just standing still. Oh, what the fuck?
Holy shit.
Yo, there's a mine behind you guys. There's a mine behind you.
We need a sentry now.
I need you blue people to kill all of them before that happens.
Alert. All that control point is being captured. Alert. The final control point is being contested. Mission ends in 60 seconds.
Medic! This is mine. You are not